Hello. Welcome back to another one of these things, as if there's really much of a welcome back. So, next up in this... Yeah, I don't like this, this parking structure one. Just the, even with the invisible stuff getting kind of easy with only rockets. I just don't like that one. Not sure why.
System engaged.
Bugs me in general.
Raven, there isn't much time.
All right, come on.
Hurry up and set the charges.
In a very non-shocking turn of events, this one is amazingly easy with these large rockets. I mean, they're not as amazing as the ones in France, or granted, but they do the job. There we go. I can only imagine how amazing it would be if they had that same, just practically nuke situation going on with them in this.
You have 2 left.
Though I'm pretty sure with an AoE they'd be even more overpowered than they already are.
1 more to go.
Oh, you are gonna be faster.
All demolition charges planted.
Mission complete. Combat system disengaged.
So that one's simple as always. Basically, if you hit 2 of the trains, you get a howitzer. The howitzer has the nice effect of costing money, and, well, technically being a manual fire thing for this. So it could arguably be the first acceptable left-hand weapon, and I did that on the regular run that I was doing before. Because there is still a manual fire weapon. It completely has... It has no lock-on of its own. It'll go with your right-hand weapon if you're using one with a lock-on, but it's fairly heavy. And it's actually... It's got a whole different range and trajectory than the rockets, so using them in conjunction usually requires... It's more effort than it's worth, let's just say. I'm gonna go to assembly. I need to buy stuff. Okay, so that doesn't help, that doesn't help. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, so the ones that I'm wanting aren't around yet. So there's Crossback. Yeah, no, we haven't run into him yet. I think I'll just finish off the C's at the moment. So yeah, this guy does his hovering thing. A little bit difficult to hit until he starts charging, which is pretty much immediately. Then he's mostly just annoying. The idea is just to do this little sweeping back and forth motion. Unless you can get a good arc going on him. Even with the mare and all these rockets, it all ends up taking little enough energy that I can just still outspeed this guy. So he's not difficult, he's just a pain. Charge a little here. We won't be needing these. Set him on fire with one of those. Don't need those anymore. A run as him is fairly similar to this run, but only with small rockets, and using the corner glitch in the abandoned factory. It's not really well, it's not a glitch, more so like a bizarre AI oversight. And I will show that off with Cypress more than likely, because I really don't like fighting that guy. And I should be able to stunlock him with the rockets. Like, normally I consider some of the cheating AIs to be an okay challenge. I don't know, Cypress was... I guess Cypress and then the second version of Evangel, when they bring him about, are just the ones that seem like a bad joke. It's like where somebody wanted to be a troll that day and just kind of felt cruel. It's like, yeah, they're just gonna fly around faster than you while being overweight, and they're just gonna completely ignore everything. Welcome to the Matrix in this situation. Although I do really like that they ended up throwing Cypress in the silent line just so you can kill him off. Just hanging out in the controller the entire time. Hanging out with his robot god. Something satisfying about shooting off all the parts. Now, I know about all the overboosting tricks you can do with parry blades and all that, but I don't think they affect rockets in any way. So by and large, I pretty much never use it. But it's kind of a cool thing that you can theoretically one-shot everything, whatever that situation is. Apparently it depends on the speed you're going. So yeah, Milky Way is an overheater. As you can see, her pistol, I believe it has slightly higher heat than that rifle I was getting shot with earlier. And she does the missile barrages there. A pretty fun build to do a run with. Actually, running out of ammo is the main problem with that run. So Trafalgar is a good example of one of the builds that, okay, anybody that's kind of like a tanky middleweight is going to be a problem with this. Because as long as they can still dish out damage and tank rockets while moving reasonably fast, they become more of a challenge. So he's not so much of a challenge yet. He actually becomes a challenge in the double arena. Like when he's just like this, it's fine. But when he's paired up with Kaiser later, they actually both do enough constant overheating damage that it's a problem. Like even if you get a second version of Kaiser to help you out, they are both just dodgy enough and both just annoying enough that it's kind of a problem. Like he will still burn from one rocket, but Kaiser needs a couple of them to actually overheat. Not doing too well, but should be able to run him out of ammo here pretty soon. Aimed at the wrong shoulder there. I mean, by and large, just anybody that can match your hopping speed and height isn't going to be a problem. And yeah, if you're close enough and you hit them with a rocket, sometimes you can get a look at their data. I'm not sure why it's not doing it now, because I remember relying on that a lot. sure. Maybe that's a... You know, that might just be with a parry blade, actually. Okay, so he's down to only howitzer now. And one more should finish him off. If I'm counting right, he should have 3 shots left on his howitzer. But I'm not sure if he's actually going to fire it without his main gun. So yeah, this one, he just flies real fast and throws a bunch of missiles and rockets out. Kind of annoying, actually. He's one of these kind of insta-kill builds, I guess you could say. But he's light, so a few small rockets at the very beginning will take off most of his life. So he does that a lot, and those things are fast and painful. Almost got him on their overboost there. There we go. So, a glass cannon to the core, but a pretty effective one. So, Trooper's okay. Mostly the grenade launcher's annoying. But again, he has the dinky one, so he doesn't really do enough damage to be much of a threat. I say getting completely wrecked by that grenade launcher. Yeah, even being a grenade launcher, he's still doing less damage per shot than these rockets. So that's really his only effective damage output. The pulse rifle isn't going to do much, and his blade is horizontal only. It's a wave beam, so it doesn't lock on. At least I don't think it locks on. Actually, I haven't tried it, but I'm about 80% sure it doesn't. Okay, come on. I know you're short, but you need to be on fire right now. And that's why I didn't effectively shoot off the rockets. I mean, I didn't throw away the large rockets. But anyways, one shot left. Street enemy is probably the first legitimately difficult because of dodging fight. So I'll save him for now. Just want to do a few more missions to get more optional parts. And then I'm probably going to save the end of the arena until after I have the fleet boosters. Just seeing what arms might be a little bit better here. So I went with the wing arms for cooling, but I might be better off just getting a different radiator. think I might upgrade to this. Didn't I just... Okay, I must not have bought it. Not having enough... Not having nearly enough coffee today. And I'll swap out those rockets for the little ones. Don't need the extra ammo capacity right now. They're about a third of the weight. So I'm gonna save in case it falls apart, because for some reason it crashed on this last time. Even though it worked just fine on the test run. So I think it was just the emulator being a bastard. But at any rate...
Combat system engaged.
AC located. It's Crests.
So the tanks have a very tiny hitbox, as you can probably tell. But still, a couple rockets are enough. I'm gonna be doing this one pretty slowly.
The sector looks
Well,
untouched.
relatively.
AC cross.
And there's Crossback. Trying to impose his presumably grungy ways. I don't know, I just always kind of assumed they were kind of an emo guy there. Why'd he clip into the wall, tank? Realistic or not, that's just rude. Oh hey, if only damage output, this might be threatening. Funny how you don't even have to move. No really, please do something. For some reason he fires in bursts while he's here. Not sure what that's about. Maybe he's just saving ammo on this very, very, very dinky machine gun.
What's going on here?
A lot is going on.
Mission complete. Combat system disengaged.
No other details. So yeah, you don't get anything extra for Crossback. This one's not bad with the rockets. There's an overheating problem during it. This one is possible. Actually was able to get it pretty effectively. Well, you can't really fight Megalo, or whatever his name is.
Combat system engaged.
At least not effectively.
Enemy forces detected.
Oh dang.
Keep them away
The
from
hand rockets just
convoy.
one-shot these things. Yeah, that's great. If I can, you know, hit them, of course. So like I said, anything that moves randomly is a pain.
We can't use it. We'll evacuate from the south. Cover us.
Actually, I think this might be the easiest way to do this. Wow. When I did this originally, I just did it with medium rockets, and wound up like 200 AP by the end of it. I was just getting swarmed. And we're starting with the overheating again. So if you have enough reputation with, I think it's Crest, they give you the icicle after you do the second part. Actually, I believe you could only get to the additional mission if you were if you were eligible to get the icicle. It was supposed to be you didn't lose anyone in this process, and then you got the second part, and then you basically got that, and then you got the icicle. And weirdly enough, I haven't actually been able to get that thing in any of my runs so far in this game. Like even my original one, so I don't know if it's just bugged out, but you can just buy it in the next game, so it doesn't really matter. But I think it's the best radiator, if I'm not mistaken. So a couple more waves, I guess. No, they're really shockingly okay with their losses on this.
Evacuation is complete. Thanks for your help.
Incoming transmission.
Oh, what do you know? I'm still gonna wind up with
Mirage
400.
has an urgent request. They want you to move to the central terminal. It's up to you whether or not to accept. Head to the escape point if you want in.
I like that piano in the background.
Mission request accepted. Moving to the central terminal.
Combat system engaged.
Raven, we have to locate the AC. He has the chipset. Forget about those. Find the AC.
The same as before, change to a hallway, take a hard right, and kill a guy with machine guns. He's a little bit annoying in that he still moves around a fair bit. Usually this guy will just park himself in the corner to be taken out early.
Finally, a worthy opponent.
But yeah. As before, he just goes down like paper. I like to think that all of the crazy machine gun ACs just all live in a giant mansion with Gatling gun statues. Yeah, no high school for me. And yeah, there's Union, who we screwed over earlier. So, like apparently all renegade groups, their idea is, hey, somebody attacked us, we need to hire them. You know what? I'm probably just gonna do this one for the hell of it. But first, this guy. Odds are he's probably going to take a couple attempts until I get his rhythm down again. So he has mid-missiles, they're pretty dang accurate. He's really fast. He's difficult to overheat because you can't really get very consistent hits on him, so usually napalm rockets are the way to go. When he's just turning is usually the best time to hit him. But keep him burning the entire time is usually the goal. Because it's only a few shots with his rifle to get an overheat. The main reason I sacrificed some energy for this radiator earlier. Like, normally I wouldn't do it, but for safety's sake, why not? Seem to be having more than enough energy as it is without that howitzer. Seems like I made the first run far more difficult than it needed to be. I should have fought this guy in the reservoir. On the original run, it was much more difficult to see, obviously being on a PSP screen. So I can just stick to the arena mostly. In this one, because, well, it's a PC. With the emulator, I can actually see things much, much better. Starting off his own rockets. Part of the problem with your shoulder missiles, or shoulder rockets in this case, is because if you're moving forward, they will always go wherever your shoulder is facing. So sometimes you end up missing just because you're trying to go up and headbutt a guy. Good that I got him with that last one. It's kind of necessary. Should just snipe him with the rest of these. Doesn't just die outright. Yeah, he's done. Well, for about, you know. What can you do? Midas is Laser Barchetta, more or less. Unfortunately, puts out a lot more damage, but it does have a larger hitbox, so I don't really have to adjust your aim as much, unless she's in that little ring that's dipping around the arena. She doesn't burn as easily, but napalm rockets still do the trick. It's only the A ranks that take multiple rockets to get set on fire. Not even just multiple rockets, multiple consistent rockets. I forget which one. One of them takes 4 rockets to get burning. And that's just because of plus, not as radiator. Or LPI in this case. Fanatic's easy other than her shotgun, so I'm going for the reservoir. I didn't get my free shots at the beginning, but there's a lot more space to backpedal here. And she has a unique thing with that machine gun, that she's actually firing slower than normal. So a lot more accurate. She's only shooting 1 shot at a time. And I'm not landing too many of these shots, but that's fine. Her defense isn't too good, and I'm not dealing with any overheat shenanigans. Which isn't much of a problem with this radiator right now anyway. But that slug gun does a lot of overheating. Like you saw there, 2 shots were enough to do it. Not even direct shots, those were like half shots at best. And that little arc she did is why I keep aiming off to the sides. And just arc right into it. That would have been a cool finish. But that'll have to do. Yeah, Bremen is the next level of Missile Swarmer. He does almost exclusive, he does vertical and multi-missiles. Like, that's his whole deal. So, I believe I got a part there. Yeah, there it is. Wait, no. No, it isn't. Well, screw it. I'll be getting decoys for this guy. I'm losing the option to overheat, but this guy is nuts. At least with his first few volleys. they're just everywhere. And because there's a delay on his, and not vertically, it does torpedoes too. So because there's a delay on them, they're just everywhere. So the most effective way of dealing with this guy, as with all missile swarmers, is just to stay behind his back. He does have a fast turning radius. We can really get into his face. So there we go. You can get him in a corner, he's just done.